to an extent, you support Southgate, but to an extent, Simon, you epitomise a section of the England fans who will never have him. Lock, stock and barrel.
Well, you know, I think you have to have a pragmatic mind, and I think you have to be fair and equitable in your observations. And I think there's lots of the job that he's done very well. And Stuart was making a point in the break about how you have to be sensible, how you have to be balanced as an England manager. Maybe being mercurial and being an elite manager isn't necessarily what's required of an England manager, because you've got so many different moving parts. The hyena mentality in our country of wanting to rip strips off people the moment they're doing something of anything, you know, of any merit, are difficult environments to manage in. But I just want to keep context. What we've done is a good job to get out of the group. It hasn't been brilliant. England haven't been brilliant. They've done the job that's in front of them.
So you want to keep context, but you don't give credit?
I think I give credit. I think ultimately to have gotten out of the group and got 7 points is a decent outcome.
Hal, where are you with England and Southgate? Specifically Southgate.
Yeah, look, I understand what Simon's saying, but in all actuality, in terms of what Gareth Southgate has done with this England team, it's been quite unique, from my opinion, because he's handling a group of players which are very different from, you know, a decade ago, 15 years ago. These players are, young. They're, a lot of them potentially are very suggestible in terms of, the influences around them, and they have the potential to go to that next level as a group of players. And sometimes when you're, as a manager, you have various different types of managers, managers who have big personalities, managers who make big decisions in terms of what Simon's saying. England needed that big decision at a critical moment, but it wasn't quite there. But actually, what Gareth Southgate is doing for this group of players, in my opinion, is the best method that any manager, no other manager coming in or having had the tenure that Gareth Southgate has had, would do a better job than he has done with this group.
Can you believe there's any negativity about him?
I'm surprised from an England fan perspective in terms of what they've achieved over the last 2 tournaments, the stick that he's receiving from England fans. Because, again, getting to the semi-finals, getting to the final, and of course, yeah, they should have won, but, Stuart said it, they went out on penalty, they lost on penalties. Like, how close can you get to winning something and actually, obviously, not winning, but then picking up the stick still?
And Stuart, to be fair to you, you don't let your friendship, you don't allow your friendship with Gareth, and it's a close friendship, to come into it. When you make your judgment call here, you think it's there to be seen by all?
I think so. I think it is sometimes. I'm sat on here to give you a manager's and coach's perspective and give you a wider vision, not just one bullet window or what you look for a keyhole and see, oh, there's a result. We got beat, we're awful, or we're brilliant. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to give the whole spectrum of best part of. We're getting on for 10 years now. And I'm also here to open people's eyes and say, you won't realise how good this fella's been until 2 years or 4 years after he's left. You're as good as what you leave behind.
But that's kind of, in my view, it's a typical football view, which is that, look at the...
that's our profession, isn't it?
But hang on. What you're in the business of is outcomes. In every other walk of life, the outcome determines. So if you're in the business of winning, when you win, that's what the outcome. So when you look at the body of work, look what I've done. No, look at what you've won. Look at the opportunities that you didn't take. And you have to be prepared to have critical and fair evaluation. We talk about the young players.
It sounds like this is Gareth's last chance as far as you're concerned.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think it's his last chance. I don't think there's a necessity to give him a contract before this World Cup, and I think it should have waited until after the World Cup. And all it's done is protected him financially if the World Cup doesn't go the way he wants it to, or if he decides he doesn't want to be there anymore. If you put an England under-21 manager in place, what are you going to get? You're going to get young players through. If you can't manage young players, what are you doing as a manager? Why would you be anywhere near a group of players if you aren't capable of having a strong influence over young players? So with that in mind, it's like, I use an analogy. You get a lawyer in charge of business, you'll end up in court. You get a person that manages young players, you'll have a young England team. It gives you an opportunity to set the precedents that you want. What
Stuart's saying is that, what Gareth Southgate is doing for the nation is bigger than just being judged on winning, which every England fan wants. No, but it's not because... no, Simon.
That's a load of old coppers.
It's not. Shall I tell you why? It's not because it's easy for a manager to go into a club, into a team, into a national team, and win, and then leave a trail of destruction behind them.
Oh, really?
And you can get managers. There's managers out there. There's managers out there who could do that.
Give me an example, Hal, of people that have gone in and won something and left a legacy of decay. What happens with most people that win something is they set blueprints.
The biggest one, Mourinho is the prime example. You know, you can go into a club, win, have a level of success. You know, they may not have won something. They could have had the same level of success that Gareth Southgate has had, but behind them is a trail of destruction. And what Gareth Southgate is doing is the complete opposite to that. He's implementing an infrastructure, a level of longevity which actually can offer continuity beyond his time as an England manager.
By doing what?
By creating a culture which is more than just solely about winning. It's about togetherness. It's about building longevity ultimately.
For me, you live in a world, and this is what football does. What it does, it baits and switch. It's not about winning. It's about participating. No, hang on a second. You've got to win, and you've got to build a culture. The culture of winning is what sport is about, not bloody participation.
But it starts from the ground up. So you have to embed that culture of winning into the infrastructure, and that is, in my opinion, what Gareth Southgate is doing. And you don't see that, as Stuart said, until it's not there anymore.
I have to say, everybody tuned in back home. It doesn't sound as if this is England who've just qualified for the last 16, does it?